Mendez also discussed how whiteness dominates in this country. This article touches base about how policing, due to how they are judged, policing can be done due to how people see race and they see ethnicity. These DACA recipients, as well as other minorities fear the police due to how the police sees them, like how black people are seen by the police and how they feel like they are stopped and frisked way more than white people, or they look more suspicious, or Mexican people, like it's vice versa. Mendez touches base on this, and Mendez talks about the police system and how the police can be racially biased. Another instance of officers not being colorblind is my boyfriend is Mexican, and he is a DACA recipient, and he lives in this country with his family, and he's been here since he was 5 years old. One day when he was driving his 2018 brand new Honda Accord, he's a general manager of Chipotle, he was pulled over, and it was for his headlights being out. His headlights being on. His headlights were not on, and they said that they pulled him over because his headlights were on and that they wanted to turn them off or whatever. But like, my biggest thing is that what if they pulled him over for the prime fact that he's Mexican, like, and they ran his license and they saw his last name and they questioned it? That's how it seemed, because the reason that they pulled him over for it didn't like make sense. Like, I could be completely wrong, but it's something that we question, because things like this can happen on a normal basis, and they do happen on a normal basis. And this situation does relate to my thesis and what I'm discussing, as well as the article written by Mendez. Now, the article discussed in class by Medina discusses judicial decisions and the arguments of legal scholars in the production of indigenous land rights. This relates to my thesis because it discusses land rights. I feel as though this country was made from immigrants. Native Americans were here first, prior to Christopher Columbus, prior to anybody being here. They found this land and they were here first. Now, after that, immigrants came over. Immigrants from everywhere came over. This country was built on immigration. So I feel as though where do rights land, or like who has rights on what land? And I feel like we can't tell these people not to come here when everybody here is from somewhere else. I know I'm Ecuadorian, I'm Cuban, I'm German, I'm Irish. I'm not just one thing. I'm multiple things that came from here from different countries, and that made me who I am. So who's to say that people, because of their ethnicity, should not be here? I don't feel that that is right, and I feel like this related to Medina's article about the land rights. Now, morality stands for me when discussing the DACA recipients. I feel like it is morally incorrect to stop people from coming into this country in order for them to better their own lives. The article discussed in class by Zygon follows this point. Society thus being the ultimate source of people's sense of moral, all social and cultural norms are understood to be imbued with moral force, and morality is essentially equated in society. I feel like morality stands strong when it comes to DACA recipients, and I wrote this in my paper. I feel like people help the people, and if we feel like people are coming here into this country for a specific reason, they're coming here because they need help, or their homes aren't like good for them or for their children, and why would we want to turn someone away just for trying to better their own lives? They're not coming here for any other reason than to better their own lives, because why would they go through everything that they have to go through to get here and to be here, and fear deportation and fear coming into this country? And like, why would they go through that if they didn't have things happening at home? Like, I know for a fact that someone that's very close to me, they came here because they were trying to escape someone, and we have things like witness protection program here, and they don't have that there. And for them to travel here and come here and cross the border here with coyotes and the people that bring these people over the border, it was hard, and bad things could have happened to them, but they did it because they were in fear of their own country and they had to escape it. And it's morally, for us, I feel like it's within our morals to help these people. Like, these people need help, and I feel like it is only right for us to let them in because they need our help. I found that these DACA recipients help our society more than ever. They contribute to generating more taxable income, which results in an economic benefit to our country. They also reduce the potential tensions between alien minors and U.S. citizens. unity will be created when these people work side by side with us, and we can learn from them as well as they can learn from us. They're taking our jobs. They're working in the kitchens. They're doing a lot of the jobs that Americans don't want to do. Not a lot of them are becoming big CEOs or becoming lawyers, or like a lot of them are doing construction, working in the restaurants, washing dishes, doing stuff like that just to get by, because they physically can't apply for things like FAFSA if they're a DACA recipient, because they're not citizens in this country. They don't get money. They have to work towards that. They're not getting money from the state to go to college, and they have to work towards that. And how is that hurting us? These DACA recipients work and give back to our community. They grow up and they've lived here for many years. This country becomes their home, and they deserve to be here and renew the privilege to live in their home. They are a part of our community, and we are a part of theirs. I don't feel as though after the stall on Trump, the stall that Trump made to end DACA, to put it on hold, it caused many protests and many riots, and he made it so that these DACA recipients could not renew their status. They couldn't renew their workers authorization. They couldn't get their temporary socials for a while, for months, and it put everything on hold. These DACA recipients, they caused protests. They started riots. They were very upset. And here I have, these are some pictures of the protests that they caused. This is because they felt as though they've been here for so long, working towards careers, working towards school and their jobs, and how could they just now fear deportation after creating a life in this country? I also have a picture of the application that they must file in order to be in our country. This must get approved. And then I have a picture of the workers' authorization they're allowed to have. They get this workers' authorization card, and this permits them to work, and it helps them. Thank you for listening to my presentation.